Crash Team Racing. I loved you back in the day, and now you've come back to tempt me as this newer, sexier model, Crash Nitro-Fueled. Now, for anyone that wasn't either as maybe A, born yet, or B, just wasn't graced by its presence when it originally came out, Crash Team Racing, or CTR, is Sony's answer to the kart racing genre. For the uninformed amongst you, that is the genre popularised and mostly represented by Mario Kart, of a more unrealistic and weapon-based racing game. Recently, we also had Sonic Team Racing release in this field. Alright, let's be blunt. I came into this super in favour of the game, and have been looking forward to this since the remake of Crash Bandicoots 1 through 3 was announced, so this is not going to be an unbiased review. Let's start with the original game, and what made it good, and why Activision is planning to make even more money by re-releasing it. It was a pretty solid kart racing game, with 18 tracks that offered a decent spread of styles and gameplay. It also included 4-player split screen, which is really difficult to do on a PlayStation 1 because you needed a special connector for most consoles. There was a bit of an RNG element to it, and more so than most games in the genre, because some of the weapons were much more powerful than the others in the mix. But at the base level, it was just simply fun to play and drive around in it. Now, am I saying all this because it was the only real kart racing game on PlayStation? Am I saying this because I'm biased? No, not at all. This was just the peak of the console wars, and I wasn't a Sony fanboy at all. No! Anyway, about that remake. There have been a few new additions to the old game, and overall I like it. We now have access to the tracks from Crash Nitro Kart, although it appears only through arcade or online, from what I've been able to play so far. For me, the biggest addition has been getting the extra challenges and game modes that appear in the adventure available in the arcade modes. This includes CTR Challenge, where you had to go through and collect three pickups in the map, Crystal Challenge, which is actually just a time limit thing about collecting crystals, and the Relic mode is now available in arcade, which I can't remember if it was in the original. Also, there are now AI available in the battle modes, meaning that all the player versus player stuff can actually be done with AI if, you're like me and enjoy playing with yourself. Which also brings up that we now have online functionality, which is pretty much a requirement nowadays for game development. Now, this does mean that you can search online for play partners, and not just have to use your other hand or another controller. Again, see before about playing with myself. I suspect there have been some balancing changes to the game, from the number of times that it has tried to save my sorry ass in a race. Possible that as a kid I was naive enough to believe that I was just getting lucky with this happening, but this is blatantly obvious now, in a way that most modern games do it. I quite often found that when I was at the risk of losing, especially if this was repeatedly, I would start getting a hell of an arsenal given to me. This isn't just luck, this is divine intervention at this point, and the AI intelligence just drove off a cliff. I had seriously a couple of cases where the AI would just jump off a ledge in the last 10 seconds of the race so that I would win. Honestly, I'm starting to question if my driving was so bad it just made the AI want to commit suicide. Probably shouldn't read into that too much. There is also a wider difficulty setting introduced as a new feature for this game, especially for the adventure mode. Now, as a concept, this is a good thing, and I don't mind the idea of it, but it's been implemented in a way that is a little annoying. It inherently just increases or decreases the opponent's speed. So this ultimately gives you the choices of where it says easy, medium and hard, of racing slow idiots, or high speed idiots. Actually, all over the RNG factor in this game is pretty high, especially at higher difficulties, and it does get quite annoying how much it can just make or break where and when what weapons drop. Overall though, it's an updated and modernised entry into the kart racing genre, which we don't get an awful lot of that are cross-platform, released on multiple systems. Not cross-platform as in you can play cross-platform. God, Sony's still got their head up their ass on that one. But it's really not anything different to anything else in the genre. As said, you're not getting an unbiased opinion here, so take all of this with a grain of salt. But if you like this type of game, this is definitely worth a look. And I think it still holds up as one of the better kart racing games.